Hello guys and welcome to my new video. So today I decided to do something that I said actually for quite a while. Basically another spreadsheet video on how to actually determine if item A is better than item B, what kind of stat weight should I be using, and things like that. And the best way to actually do it, there's actually two tools that are available for us to use. I said it's multiple times. There's things like I mentioned here, there's a weak aura called Resto Druid Stat Weights. Which kind of looks like this. You can see here, you can kind of see it here because it's kind of cut off, but it gives you like stats for int, crit, haste, mastery, verse, or DSW. It's a weak aura. You basically just import it, and every time you do any fight, it will give you stat weights, as in the best stats per fight basis. So if you're doing like Mythical Rot, it might tell you intellect is the best, mastery second best, crit is close to it, and you can actually accordingly change your gear to include it. Now, are you going to change your stat weights per fight basis? It's up to you. It's up to you how you want to min-max it. But another way of doing it is to use Twigit Spreadsheet. Now, Twigit Spreadsheet itself actually also incorporates the weak aura that I just showed you, because that weak aura, with an additional add-on called RDSW available on Curse, will save those stat values per fight basis, which you can use in your spreadsheet. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have the add-on for it, so I am not going to be using RDSW weights. I'm just going to be using whatever is given by the spreadsheet, which seems to be accurate enough. But I recommend everyone, when they're looking for the best stat weights to use the weak aura. Use Resto Druid Stat Weights weak aura, because it seems to be one of the most accurate ways to determine which are the best stats. So but if you're not going to use it, or you want to check out Spreadsheet, this spreadsheet is great. Torty did a great job for it. So you can see there's a list of instructions. It can seem daunting to you to actually start it, but let's just do it in an easy way. All you need to have for this is to have two logs, two fights that you want to compare. So if you have Warcraft logs, you don't even need to have Warcraft logs. You just need someone in a guild to log. So you just go to Warcraft log website, you type in your name, and you might see a couple of fights. I actually chose Sisters, Mythic Sisters, and Mythic Demonic Inquisition to use those. Basically, it uses the spell usage. Your rejuvenation did 30%, your efflorescence did 20% if you use tier 20 or whatever. Use those weights into the spreadsheet so you can actually determine your playstyle, and by determining your playstyle, it determines your stat weights. So what I'm saying is that my playstyle will give me different stat weights than your playstyle will. Maybe it'll be the same because your playstyle might be similar to mine, but it's never going to be the same. So if you really want to get the perfect stat weights, you got to use your own data basically. But I'm using my one. I'm just kind of showing you what it's going to be like. So let's just go straight away. First of all, you see at the bottom here, I don't know, my head is actually pointing into this. You can see log paste. Go into log paste. You can see there's two empty spaces here. Actually, the first thing you want to do is to actually download the spreadsheet. And I actually downloaded, I include the links and everything to this in the description below. I downloaded this on Google Docs. So I'm using Google Docs. I found it way easy. You don't need to have any other XLS. I forget, Excel spreadsheet. I don't actually have Excel spreadsheet on my computer, so just use Google Docs. It's way easier. So this is going to be for Google Docs spreadsheet instructions. So like I said, go to log paste. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the fight that you picked out. You go to the healing. In my case, Sisters Mythic. You go to healing. You go to yourself, MadSkillz. You see that my rejuve is like doing 30%. Now you click this button, CSV. By clicking this CSV button, you're downloading a file. You download this file, you go to the location. In my case, it's in my logs file. You can see it's here. You want to open it in Notepad. So you right click, you go open with, and Notepad. Now you see this, what basically it is, it tells you the rejuvenation did 169 million of my healing. That's like, it's just an easy way of doing it. So what you want to copy is just everything but the first line, because you can see the first line tells me name, amount, cast, average cast. I don't need this. You don't need this in the spreadsheet. Just get everything below the first line. Easy peasy. Control C, Control V. Go back to your spreadsheet. Now, click on the first tab after the name and Control V or paste. And you can see here, it kind of looks a little bit messed up. It's not that great. Now, the next thing you want to do actually straight away is to click data and split text into columns. If you can see this, split text into columns. Straight away you see rejuvenation, wild growth, dream growth, regrowth, User's gift, how much healing, how much things did. So basically what you're seeing right now, you pasted this information, exactly this information, into the spreadsheet. So it's getting your game play into the spreadsheet straight away. You don't need to see this that I downloaded. And now you also want to do the same thing for, so you need 2 fights. You don't want to just base your whole stat weights from just 1 fight. You know, variety is the key. So the second fight I actually chose from warcraftlogs.com is Demonic Inquisition Mythic. So I want to go to my healing. You can see all the healers. Did I include the right? Yeah, I did include the right. So you can see all the healers. I want to click on my name again and click the CSV sheet. It'll download another log. I just go to the location. I right click it, open with notepad, and again copy everything except the first line. Everything except the first line, and it should be good. So now you do the same thing. You click into the first column after the name, Control V or just paste. You see again, it's not really formatted properly. You go to data, you go to split text into columns, and there you go. You got 2 fights into the spreadsheet organized right now. So the next thing you want to do, there are multiple instructions about this as well, but if you use tier 19, if you use tier 19 2 set or tier 24 set, you actually kind of have to find out the uptime of those buffs. So the way to find, in my case, I use tier 19. In those cases, I use tier 19 2 set. I did not have tier 19 tier 24 set, so I cannot show you this, but it works in the same way. So the way you go is that you go to your buffs, and the tier 19 buff is instructions. You can see tier 19 2-piece buff is called Astral Harmony. So you want to see how much of percentage it was used. So just to give more background, tier 19 2-piece, every time you cast Wild Growth you get 4000 mastery. So you want to see how many times you actually gain that buff. So like I said, you go into your first fights. This is the Moon Mythic. You go into buffs. Now under all abilities, you click into all abilities. Now you see straight away, because Astral Harmony is A, it's gonna be in the A section. So you click Astral Harmony. You can see here that MadSkillz here used it quite a lot, and you can see that it was up for 37%. 37%. So what you want to do now is go to your main tab. You can't really see it because my head is in the way. You go into the main tab, and you can see here Astral Harmony Fight 1. I want to change, you click into that, and I want to change that to 37% because it was 37%. And now I do the same to the second fight. I go to Demonic Inquisition, I go to buffs, and I go to Astral Harmony. I can see here it did 36%. So I changed fight 2 to 36%. Now if you have tier 24 set, you can do the same thing, but you need to check for blooming efflorescence. And now I don't have tier 24 set, so unfortunately I can't really show it, because when I was doing this I didn't have tier 24 set. So, but if you do have tier 24 set, you will go under buffs again, and you look for blooming efflorescence under B, which is not here for me. So the next thing under instructions is one of the, well, it's not the easy part, but you go to main and you fill in your stats. So you need to have your armory open. So right now I have my MadSkillzzTV armory here. You can see here, you can see underneath here all my beautiful stats. I have 52,000 intellect. I go back to the spreadsheet, I go to unbuffed, and I type in 52k. And now you can see that my weights are slowly filling in. I need to do it for everything. I have 123,000 stamina, which is not really that relevant. I have 7,500. Now if you want to see it, I know them by heart, but if you go to Harmony and you just hover above the 24, because you cannot enter 24 crit. You cannot enter 24% crit because the spreadsheet does not understand that. You need to enter, you see total rating, 7,531. So you need to go back to your spreadsheet, go on the critical strike, go to the top here and enter 7,500. And you need to do that for all the stats basically. 23% haste equivalent to a total rating of 8,100. I type in 8,100. I go back to my armory. 22 mastery is equivalent to 11,600. So I type in 11,600. And now the last thing that I need to type in is versatility. You can see I have 12% versatility, and my total rating is 5,800. Oops. Now I actually don't have any leech, so I can't really determine that stat. Oh, I actually entered my, okay, 52,000. There you go. You can see my stat weights already kind of popping up. So the really important part here, because you did not use RDSW, Resto Druid Stat Weight weak aura, because in instructions you can actually get your stat weights. You can actually get your stat weights from Resto Druid weak aura, which I mentioned here. You can actually get it, and you can actually paste it in the log parse under RDSW paste. Unfortunately, I did not have an add-on to do it, so if you don't have an add-on, or if you don't use it, you can just go to main, and this is very important. You go to stat weights and you see weights to use. So I'm going to use raid weights. This is raid weights provided by Twigit spreadsheet itself. You can see if I actually switch over to Mythic Plus, look what happens to my mastery. My haste. My haste goes up way more in value, because haste is, by this spreadsheet, is valued a lot higher in Mythic Plus. But I don't want to do Mythic Plus. If you do want to do Mythic Plus, you can use it, but like I said, in Mythic Plus, haste and mastery is one of the best stats anyway. So I want to use raid. So you can see raid, my haste went down a lot. It used to be 1.88, now it's 1.04. So you can see what these weights actually represent is that my intellect is 1. So my best stat right now is mastery. Then it's haste with crit. Actually, leech is one of the best, but let's not worry about leech. So it's actually mastery, haste, and crit, and then intellect, and then versatility. So intellect kind of goes down a little in value the more you have it, but it kind of depends on your playstyle as well. But first, before that, you want to kind of fill in some of the life relics you have. So I have knowledge of the ancients, and I have nature mending, and your total traits. I have 61 artifact traits. 61 artifact traits. Now, the way you found out your 61 artifact traits, you just go to your weapon, and you can see here it tells you at the very top 61. This is how you know. And when you go back, you can type in your weapon item level. My item level on my armory is 951. 951. Now you can see that my mastery is still number 1. My haste and crit are valued a little higher. Now you also have to make sure that you account for consumables. I'm going to add an additional 1,300 intellect with flask. I also use 500 intellect food. And I'm going to choose Night Elf haste. Like, it's going to depend, because Night Elves provide you crit and haste during night and day. So it's kind of a nonsense way of doing this, but I'm gonna choose, let's say, crit at this time being. I used tier. You can actually see the set bonuses now. My tier 20, my tier 19 2 set bonus is 3% value, and my tier 19 4 set is actually gives me 6. So I'm getting around 9 to 10% gain from using the tier 19 and tier 24 sets. Now my trinkets, you can choose the trinkets if you want. I'm already using, the only trinket that actually you can choose here that I'm actually using is Dark Moon Deck Promises, and that of course is level 900. Other trinkets I don't really choose because I don't really need it. And that's it. That's basically it. You have your weight stats right here. You can see that my mastery is number 1. You can see that my haste is 2nd, my crit is very close 3rd, and then versatility and intellect are basically the same. So you can see that versatility kind of takes a little longer to catch up than every other stat, but a certain breakpoint, once you have a lot of intellect, and depending on your playstyle, intellect is going to go down compared to your secondary stats. So how do I compare which item gear I need? You can actually also go to the trinket section and see which trinkets you actually really want. You can see here that the values here, you can see stat sticks are doing pretty well. My Dark Moon deck is one of the best trinkets right now, along balance. You can see fluctuating energy, which is also another mana trinket, is doing pretty well, but that's with a decent proc rate as well. That's accounting a decent proc rate. So it's a little RNG involved, while Dark Moon deck there's no RNG involved. If you know fluctuating energy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But let's not look at that right now. You can compare your trinkets as well. But let's look at gear. So the main thing here, you can actually input your old gear intellect, like for example, you can just go to your helm and input. It gives me 3000 intellect, 4000 stamina, 1000 haste, and 600 mastery. And you can just input these values here. And then let's say you want to replace your other helm. So this gives me 2800 intellect, 1600 haste. If you can see it, you can't actually fully see it, but there you go. And 600 versatility. You can actually input this here in the new section and you get the value. But the actual easy way to actually do it is just click on the pawn string here and right click and select copy. So now if you have an add-on called pawn, which I do, and I think most people will have it, well, if you see the video as well. If you have this add-on pawn, you'll see that when you open your character item screen kind of thing, at the very bottom right corner you see pawn. You click on pawn and this will basically let you compare items on the go. So now you just go to weights. If you want, you can go to weights. If you want, you can create a new one. Like you'll be able to see something like Resto Druid. I have my own setup here at the moment, so you might not see exactly what you're seeing what you will be seeing there. But you can go to scale, you can rename it, or you can just use the Resto Druid one. So I'm just gonna select like Resto Raid, and I'm gonna go to actually I'm not gonna go to weights. I'm gonna go Resto Raid, and I'm gonna import. So once I import, I'm going to Control V, and that should copy my. Oh, it actually tells you right now that you can just go to scale and import, and it'll show you Twig It. It'll show you straight away. It'll create a different profile. So I actually didn't know this, but you can see here: intellect 1, crit 1.9, haste 1.1, mastery 1.19, versatility 1. So this is my Twig It. I don't actually like Twig It name, so I'm just gonna rename Resto Raid 7.25. So you can see my Resto Raid 7.25 right here. And now what do I do with this Resto Raid? I just select Resto Raid and I go to compare, and I just open up my items. So I want to compare my 935 helm with my 930 tier helm. You can see right now that with my Resto Raid 7.25, my 935 helm is around 6% increase in stats and output, or at least a 6% upgrade. It's not 6%, it's 6% upgrade over my 930 helm. Of course, I'm not going to change it because 930 helm is my tier 20. But this is how easy to actually compare each of the items. You don't actually have to put in anything into a spreadsheet. You just need to make sure to actually right click this and copy this and get this stat weight the way you see it in your main tab. So like again, you can also use the gear tab. If you can see it here. Oh, I'm actually going the wrong way. You can see you can use the gear tab to also compare your tier 19 and tier 20 when you should actually drop it. You can see you can input your current setup, like for example using a tier 19 helm, it's item level 905. Using legendary shoulders, of course, because if you're using tier 19 4 set, you should be using legendary shoulders. your tier 19 cloak, and then you can input your tier 20 setup. And you can see, at least in this setup here, if it's tier 20, it's around 20 item level upgrade over almost every piece. That it is, yes, an upgrade. You should change your tier 19 to tier 20 and use it. You can see here, result, yes. And this is the basically the output, or how much better it's going to be. So this spreadsheet is actually very good in combination with Leaf's Resto Druid weak auras. You can actually provide the best output. You can use this. The most important part is that you are using data from yourself, you're using data from Warcraft logs, which tells you exactly how much healing you did with each spell, which is very, very important. And based on your own game style, this is going to determine your stat weights. That's the most important part of this. But hopefully this has shed some light about spreadsheets and how to use them. Hopefully it was something that you might learn. Let me know what kind of stat weights you're seeing. I'm actually very interested to see what people with high intellect are seeing right now, because what I'm seeing right now with high intellect gear and a lot of total traits, because I'm pretty sure if you have a lot of artifact traits, that that's calculated into concordance, and because of the higher intellect. And also make sure with intellect flask and intellect food, I want to see what kind of stats you're seeing, especially if you're high intellect. Tell me at what point your intellect becomes worse than your nearly every secondary stat, because that's going to be different for everyone else. That's going to be different for everyone else, and I would like to see at what point you actually get a lower stat values for your intellect and your secondaries become better. And thank you for watching this kind of long video. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how you find it, if you find it useful. And I'll see you in my next guide.